Hi, my name is Ruth Mathewson and I'm the owner-operator of Harmony Woolen Mill and Woolies of Upper Brook Farm. And today we're going to take you through the woolen mill where we process wool into felt. Today we're looking at a border luster fleece. Sheep are normally shorn once a year in the summer times, and that way that they remain cool in the summertime, as well as it gives them time to grow their wool out for the winter months, which can be harsh here in Canada. We've got it here in its entirety, and we're going to be looking at doing some skirting, which is the process of eliminating any undesirable parts, such as vegetable matter. So when skirting, you really need to get your hands on. So immediately my eye goes to this, where there's lots of vegetation. So we're going to pull that out. That's an undesirable. And my hand is feeling for where it continues on. I've already determined by the look of it, this is, there's a bit of manure tags there. So I'm going to weed out that part too. Okay, and feeling along, there's more felting going on here. So you can see this is one very large felted clump. I'm going to put this aside. These parts are okay. There's some more felting here. That aside, and as long as I can find a section and I can pull it apart, then it can be washed and processed easily into something usable. So in terms of qualities, there are several things that you look for in a fleece. There is luster, which this fleece does have when you look at it in the sunlight there. There is crimp, which is the amount of curls that the fleece has. If there are kind of just waves like this fleece, then this fleece will felt, which is why we've selected this breed. To determine soundness, you grab a lock by the tip and the sheared edge, and you pull it. Just kind of snap it in your fingers, and you can see that this is very sound. It hasn't broken at all. This is actually just a short bit. So it hasn't broken at all, and if you put it up to your ear and snap it, there is no sound except for the snapping of the, the kind of the ricochet of the fiber. If this was a poor quality, so for example, if this ewe had been sick or ill and then recuperated, there would be a break in the fiber, and that would be you wouldn't want to make yarn, for example, out of that fiber, but it would be good for felting or stuffing, depending on the breed, of course. But those are some things that you look for in a good fleece. The border luster wool is now out of the tumbler, and we're now putting it in the washing machine. There are 3 equal sections of wool in there. The border luster will felt, and to felt we need hot water, agitation, and soap. So this is a gentle agitating machine, and we're going to add just a little bit of soap. This is a naturally environmentally friendly soap. You just need a little bit to help with the process. The washing machine removes vegetable matter and lanolin. We want to remove the lanolin so that we have a nice fiber to further process. It will make it much more pleasant for the end use, as well as making it a nice fluffy fiber with a nice hand. So this is picked border Leicester fiber. It's like a cloud, so the fibers are non-directional at this point. So we're going to weigh it out to 130 grams, put it on the intake belt of the carder, and just pull it apart to fill up the belt. We don't want it to go over the sides. And the whole way through this process, as I'm looking through, I'm pulling away and I'm skirting. So through the whole part of this carding process, we're going to continue to skirt this fiber so that we get the best end product possible. So we have to put it between the two blue belts because we want an end bat of 1 pound. So, so a quarter pound, 130 grams. And we're going to, I've got little magnets here, so each time I put on a quarter pound, I mark it so that I don't forget and have too much or too little. So I'm going to start up the carder. It's going to align these fibers, starting with the intake feeds that are very wide nails that pull it apart a little bit further, and as it goes, it also takes out, as it goes through the process, it also takes out more vegetation. And then it goes through all these many other drums and finishes with it's called the fancy, so it perfectly aligns all the fibers, and at that point we come out with a beautiful bat. I place the bat on the bed and separate it into two. I will keep one layer down on the bed and move the other to the side. I need to ensure that the bat covers the bed evenly. Then I will add hot, soapy water. I then place the second layer back on top in a perpendicular direction so that the fibers are crisscrossing one another, and I repeat the process. So the timer has, the 20 minutes are done. We're just going to open this up so that we can flip it over, and that way it'll have a consistent, it'll be consistently felted, because the way the felting machine is set up, one side is, the end is closer than the front, and you want to make sure that your final product is consistent. So that looks pretty good. You can see it's not quite perfect, but it's looking good. Okay. Again, hot water soap and agitation will enable the felting process. And here we go again. There are many breeds of sheep in Nova Scotia. These are just two of those readily available. Sheep are basically raised for either meat or fiber, or ideally both. My north countries, we raise them due to the hardiness of the land, but we have the mini mill and we make bedding out of their fiber because it doesn't felt and it retains its loft. The Border Leicester, it felts really well. It's a nice, beautiful hand to it, and so it's got many purposes for that. There are many more breeds. There are, just to name a few, Rideau, Arcot, Texel, Ile-de-France, British milking sheep. So if you want a meat breed, there are many of those. If you want a milking breed, there are several of those. And if you're looking for a fiber sheep like a Shetland or an Icelandic, those are readily available too. We're really blessed in Nova Scotia to have so many different varieties of breeds of sheep, and each one is often multi-purpose. So I can't say enough about buy local, find local farms, make sure that you check out, know your farmer, check out your wool before purchasing, and ideally be on the farm during shearing day, and you can learn a lot from both the sheep and the farmer and the shearer. But yes, Nova Scotia is very blessed to have many breeds of sheep and lots of lovely, wonderful wool.